All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Blake Adams. We're here on the civil motions docket this morning. We have one case on the docket, Krista Benoit v. Jeremiah Pulse, case number 20 CC 1775. It appears I have Ms. Benoit present. Ms. Benoit, can you hear me? You'll have to unmute your microphone so that I can hear you.
I hear you, Judge.
All right, very good. All right, yeah. And do I have Mr. Pulse with us?
You do.
All right, good morning. I also have Madam Clerk with us this morning. All right, we're here on a, give me a moment here to pull up your case. We're here on an order directing an evidentiary hearing on the defendant's motion to determine rent, which was filed on November 16th regarding an eviction complaint. Both parties are unrepresented here this morning. Let me just talk to you both about the process here. Ms. Benoit, you filed a motion or a complaint for an eviction of Mr. Pulse. Mr. Pulse, you've filed an answer as well as a motion to determine rent. I do see some issues with this case on both sides. And because you're unrepresented, I wanted to give you an opportunity to try to settle your case before we proceed. If you would like to try to reach some type of settlement agreement, you know, I note that I noticed that this residential tenancy arises out of a verbal or oral contract, and rather than a written contract, which I think is going to pose problems probably for both sides. And I don't know if either side would be amenable to trying to reach some type of agreement, whether that's for Mr. Pulse to pay some amount to remain until a certain date, or some other type of agreement. So Ms. Benoit, you're the one who brought the action, so let me ask you if you would be willing to reach some type of an agreement with Mr. Pulse.
Hello, Judge Adams. I'm her son, and I speak for her. So, you said,
unfortunately, I can't allow you to do that unless you're a licensed attorney.
Yes.
Yes. Would you like to come to an agreement with him to see what we can do?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes. Yes. You know, I don't speak very good English, but my son does. That's why my son have to say everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have no problem if your son needs to interpret for the court or for you, but as far as him speaking on your behalf, that is not allowed by Florida law.
Yeah, but I can tell him what I want, and he can say something for me. I buy the house 6 months ago. I am a single mother. I'm trying to buy the house for my children to make sure we have somewhere to sleep, because I live in Naples for 21 years. But when I rent Mr. Jeremiah the house, I rent him the house, but he doesn't. I'm not here. It was my son. I was working. He's coming to my son.
Ms. Benoit, I'm going to stop you. So my question is, would you like an opportunity to try to reach an agreement with Mr. Pulse before we proceed?
What I want, Mr. Jeremiah can still stay in their house because it's not a problem. But he has a girlfriend who cannot come to the house because all the neighborhood keep complaining. People cannot sleep. I cannot sleep. Mr. Jeremiah can stay in their house. if he agree to Alison, his girlfriend not coming. But
Okay.
yes, if he said the girlfriend have to come in, he need to go. He need to go. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So it
Judge
sounds like,
Adams?
hang on one second, Mr. Pulse. So it sounds like Ms. Benoit is willing to reach some type of an agreement. Mr. Pulse, are you interested in reaching some type of settlement agreement with Ms. Benoit?
I don't have a problem in doing that, but see, the issue is when we moved in here, shortly after, my fiance, who lives here with me too, started to have some mental issues. Okay, she was.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stop you, Mr. Pulse. Also, so I just want to know whether or not you'd like an opportunity to speak with Ms. Benoit to reach an agreement before we proceed.
That would be fine, but as she said, is once Allison is back in the house, that we have to leave.
Okay, well,
Actually,
that's something that that you all can come to an agreement about, whether that's you staying in the house until a certain time, or whatever that may be, whatever that agreement may be. I just want to give you the opportunity to do that before we proceed.
That's fine, but I don't want to have to leave when she comes back, because the mental problem that she was having needed to be fixed from a doctor, and it has been. There has not been any issues.
Okay, well, that's something that you and Ms. Benoit could discuss. All right, so would you like for me to give you both that opportunity to discuss that right now before we proceed?
Are you talking to me, Judge?
I'm talking to Mr. Pulse right now.
Okay.
That would be up to her. Like there's other things too that have been done since we've been here with this going on. So if we were to come up with some type of agreement, they would have to give back the services that they've taken away.
I can't be involved in your negotiations. So if you'd like, I can put you both into a breakout room to discuss a settlement agreement.
If you're talking to me, Mr. Judge, only I tell you something I have to tell you. If Alison coming to this neighborhood, make my neighborhood crazy all the time, they're coming to knock my door in the morning, said they don't sleep last night, we walk in the morning.
Okay, all right, let me stop you. Ms. Benoit, let me stop. I just want to know whether you two want an opportunity to try to reach an agreement or not.
No, I'm not agree with if Jemiah keep talking about with the Allison, they cannot stay in their house. They have to move. Okay.
All right. Yes. That was the answer I needed. All right, Ms. Benoit and Mr. Pulse, will you raise your right hands to be sworn?
Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Pulse, this is your motion to determine rent. I'll let you provide testimony as to what you believe the rent should be. The plaintiff's complaint states, give me one moment to pull that up. That there is a past due amount of $1,030. Go ahead, Mr. Pulse.
As far as the 1,030, there was an agreement that was reached to pay the $1,000 per month. But on a week and a half before rent was due on October, they took away services. So we were unable to watch TV or anything. Also, we were using the Wi-Fi for phone service. So I was unable to keep in contact with my job, anything. I had to go out and buy new phones just to be able to communicate with my job and everything else. We've asked her to make some repairs that happened due to one of the storms, and she fails to do it. She doesn't want to do it. She blames it on my fiance, saying that she broke the door. So,
all right, let me stop you, Mr. Pulse. What services were removed?
They changed the password on the internet.
So the Wi-Fi.
So
was
we were
removed.
unable to watch TV or use our phones.
All right,
It
and
was supposed to be all included. There's actually a cable wire that's ran to the unit, but there's no cable. It's not a live wire. So I have a smart TV. So I asked her if she had Wi-Fi, and she said she did. So I said, as long as we can just have the Wi-Fi password, we'd be able to, watch TV. And they agreed.
all right.
Go ahead.
So you're using the Wi-Fi for streaming, internet, and telephone use?
I was at that time, yes, sir.
All right. And did you obtain your own internet then?
I had to go out and purchase brand new phone service to be able to watch movies and stuff like that. Actually, because of what she's done, my fiance has violated her probation and is sitting in the Collier County jail at this time.
All right, so how much was the phone service that you had to obtain, minus any equipment, just the service?
I paid $187.50, I believe, to set it up and everything. And then since then, I've paid the bill was $100.
All right, were there any other agreed to issues?
I don't believe so.
All right, anything else then from you, Mr. Pulse? So Mr. Pulse, well, let me ask you this. What amount is it that you estimate would be the past due amount?
Well, minus the amount of money that I had to pay just to be able to communicate with the outside world, and so we had phone service and be able to watch TV, because that's supposed to be included. I came up with $812.56, I believe, and then the $30, so it'd be $842.
Let me ask you about the notice you received from the landlord.
The one asking us to leave?
Well, I see two notices that were filed with the complaint. The first one Did you receive both notices?
I received one notice that was notarized from someone, not done through the courthouse. I received that notice, and then I received the other notice, which she then included the first notice with the new notice and filed them both with the courthouse. Yes, sir. I then responded to them.
Right.
You should have my response.
I do have your responses. Let me and just to be clear, as of today, you've not paid the $1,030. Was that for October or November?
That was for October, but she won't take it. She tells me she doesn't want my money. She just wants us to leave because of my fiance.
And when is so that $1,030, that was for October?
Yeah, the $1,000 is for October, and then I owed her $30 from September.
And then when is November's due?
November was due on the 22nd, but she won't accept any money. She just tells me, I want you to leave, which I feel that, you know, she put in one of her statements that I refused to tell her about my fiance's mental issues, and that I refused to tell her about her criminal record. She never asked. And for us, we didn't know. I didn't know about the mental issues till we came here, and that would actually be against our HIPAA laws to tell her.
Okay. All right. Let me stop you there. All right, Ms. Benoit.
Yes, Judge.
I'm looking at your complaint. Your complaint has two notices attached to it. One indicates that you're seeking his removal for failure to pay rent. The second notice, failure to inform of guest mental illness, as well as a guest who has a criminal record. Did you have a written lease agreement with Mr. Pulse?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
My son, George, can my son explain to you for me, because you know I'm not too good at that. Can my son explain to you for me, please?
Would you like to call him as a witness?
Yes, my son.
And what is your son's name?
Joseph Noel.
Will you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Judge.
All right, tell me your name again.
Joseph Noel.
What is your relationship with Krista Benoit?
I'm her son.
And how are you involved in this case?
So I'm involved in the case because I'm the one who took in the papers. Like, I'm the one who wrote down everything when we took it to the court. And my mom, I help her with everything.
All right. And are you aware of any written agreement in this case with your mother and Mr. Pulse?
The only written agreement that we've had from the beginning was just the agreement of the rent that we were going to receive $1,000 every month on the 22nd, and also that we gave them $500, or they gave us $500 as a security deposit.
All right, and where is that paperwork?
It is right here. 1 second, please. All right, it's right here. This is the only agreement we've had since the beginning.
All right, and that is attached to the complaint. So it's just a receipt.
Yeah, basically, yeah, just a receipt.
Okay. All right. All right, and was there any agreement to provide Wi-Fi services to Mr. Pulse?
There's no written agreement of us.
I didn't ask if there was a written agreement.
There was an agreement, but the thing is, when the 22nd came up and we told them that we didn't want them to, you know, we wanted them out, we changed the password for that reasoning that, you know, we wanted you guys out. We're not going to provide Wi-Fi to you. Like, we're not, because.
So let me stop you. Why did you want them out of the house?
So basically, his fiance, she's constantly causing trouble. We've had cops come to our house many of times. We've had to call the cops many of times. We've had our light switches messed with a bunch of times. Our next door neighbor, she's come to us to complain about her causing trouble. She's yelling and screaming all the time, slamming on doors, cussing us out. There was an incident where our switches were messed with, so we had to call an officer to help us go in and turn on our switches because they weren't here. And then when they left, they were coming back, they were walking up the street, and there was an altercation where I was like, okay, I need you guys to stop messing with our switches because this is the 4th time it's happened. And it's ridiculous. As
right,
we're going
I'm
back
gonna stop you. The agreement to rent the property to Mr. Pulse, what was the terms of that agreement?
The terms of that agreement were just, when they came, we weren't told that anybody else.
Let me ask, what were the terms? How much and how long?
Oh, just $1,000 for every month.
So it was a month-to-month?
Yeah, month-to-month basis.
Mr. Pulse, do you agree that it was a month-to-month rent?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, Ms. Benoit, anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, Judge. Anything I have to say? Every time Alison have a problem, mental problem, you know what he did? He turned all the light off in my house. When I'm coming, I'm hot. I'm a sick woman. I'm a sick woman. When I'm coming in the house, I'm hot. She turned the AC off. She turned the light off. She turned everything off and go outside, make their nose, make trouble with everybody. Josh, if you have a house, you just buy a house. You cannot have somebody like that in the house make you. You cannot sleep at night. Neighbor cannot sleep at night. A walk in the house, a slam the door all the time. My neighbor every morning coming to my house, ask me, hey, Krista, what you going to do with those people? But that's why I come to you to help me to put those people out. Because if she come into the house again, she's going to do the same thing. She never quiet. Midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I want them to go out because
right.
this is past too much.
All right,
Yeah, too much. Yeah.
Let me stop you. Okay. Here is the problem. You've filed or you've provided Mr. Pulse with 2 separate notices. One notice indicates that you're demanding rent, and if he doesn't provide it, then you're going to evict him. The other one says that he's failing to abide by the terms, even though there was no written agreement of any terms. However, because it was a month-to-month rent, and if you wanted him out, what you should have done is filed a notice informing him of the end of the tenancy, and that if he doesn't vacate at the end of the tenancy, then you would be filing eviction notices. And then filed, in addition to that, a complaint for the back rent. So unfortunately, Ms. Benoit, you've not filed pursuant to the statutes or the rules. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dismiss your complaint with leave to amend. You'll need to provide Mr. Pulse a new notice, and then you'll be able to file an amended complaint so you don't have to pay court costs again. Okay?
Can you explain that again?
Well, I can't provide you with legal advice, so I've probably overstepped by just stating everything I have anyway. But I will put it in a written order, and I will make sure that both sides get that. Let me make sure I've got each side's email address. Ms. Benoit, what's your email address?
It's Krista Benoit, or Benoit5 @gmail.com.
The numeral 5?
Yeah, the numeral 5.
Okay, and Mr. Pulse, what's your email address?
Jeremiah, JEREMIAH, Pulse, PULSE, 39 @gmail.com.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna get that order out today. You'll both receive that. Make sure, if you haven't received it by the end of the day, check your junk or spam folder because it could go there.
All right.
But we'll also mail out, I'll mail out copies to both sides also. Okay?
So
Okay.
what should I do till then? Nothing?
That's up to you, Mr. Pulse. I can't provide you with advice either.
All right.
Okay. All right, thank you both. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Right.
All right, Madam Clerk, are you there?
I'm here, Judge.
Okay. All right. Basically, I'm denying the motion to determine rent or I guess I'm dismissing that. Dismissing the motion to determine rent and dismissing the complaint with leave to amend.
Okay.
And I'll get that written order out pretty soon.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.